so many people visited our little world here, discovered what happened, and never did anything. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
Could have said something to ease the pain. Just a few words would have made a happy home again. We were dangling, about to fall. Every wall could tell a story. Every hallway calls your name. All the joy and pain, I'm sorry, I'm waiting for it.
My name is Donald Dehaney, and I'm 21 years old. I was sexually assaulted from the ages of 4 to 15. The fact that our father sexually abused us for over a decade was the worst kept secret because there were so many people who had found out along the way. Initially my mother, and then elders, and then elders warned their wives to keep their children away from my father. And then there was lawyers and doctors who found out, a judge, policemen, and none of these people told me it was a crime. So they started to help keep it a secret too. My memoir, Father's Touch, was published last year, and I was asked to read it at the Central Library for a gay and lesbian group. And it's about growing up and being sexually abused by my father. He abused myself, my brothers, and my sister. Writing this book has become a catharsis. Now I understand that the reason I waited nearly 20 years before starting is because I didn't want to go into that emotional vortex of the past. For the first time in my life, I wept about my experience. I was 4 years old, and I was playing in my father's bedroom, and he asked me to pick up the stick. And there was a broken doll on the floor, which I was playing with. And I picked up the stick and brought it to him. And he laughed at me and said, "Not that stick." And he showed me his penis. And he removed the covers, like, and he showed the erection. And that was something so new to me. I thought that was weird, you know. And but he said this was the game that we were going to play from now on. What just happened couldn't have happened, I tell myself. I just imagined the game with Papa took place. But Papa said it would happen again, and I'd be better at it as I get older. Well, I won't think about that now. I'll just not think about it at all. How can I do that? I know, I'll pretend it never happened. If it did, it happened to someone else. That's right, the game never happened to me. I'll never think about it again. A family can look so normal, and sexual abuse could be a part of their life. My sister was introduced to the sexual abuse a couple years after me.
I was abused sexually throughout my childhood, and I don't remember my earliest years, but do remember my later years.
When I was little, my safety was in the grass. I'd run into the field and hide in the grass. I thought of marriage and children, but you attract men who are like your father. And I thought I could never live with the fact of having children and having my father, my husband, abusing my children, so I wouldn't think of marriage.
I'm attracted to less of both sexes because of it.
Less?
Like, yeah. Like, don't want to have sex.
There are days when I break down and it's the way it is.
Even though that happened, we never talked about it. Like, we never, ever discussed the sexual abuse amongst ourselves. My older brother, Ronnie, was introduced to the sexual abuse by force, and always force.
I never even knew that a thing called the game existed because his approach to me was totally different.
Okay.
Here I am, the oldest, and my clothes would all be used. I'd never get a ball, I'd never get a glove, I'd never get anything. I mean, he'd never buy anything for me. I'd find out through your book that he's buying you and Marina the gifts and things all to play the game.
When he says, "I'll get you something if you'll play the game with me," it was something he was going to get anyway.
But didn't you
Like, he
tell
didn't
me
get
that
toys
he
or-
took you to the movies and bought you ice cream and stuff like that?
Like,
wasn't that in
he
the
took
book?
me to a porn festival. I don't
I
think
remember that.
was...
No, I remember that.
Yeah,
in the
like there
book.
was no The Bible movie or Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Got a big catch, you know, when I had him, because he was handsome. Oh yeah, everybody thought he was good looking. I was not gonna marry one that wasn't good looking. I wanted to be happy in marriage, you know. I know he couldn't look at the children sort of in your faces when I was there.
I can remember us trying to counsel our mother in that, you know, tried to get her to leave.
So then, like, because she didn't do anything, we didn't think there was any hope that we would get out of the family, and that it just seemed that the love was gone.
We resigned ourselves to the fact that he owned us and there was no way out.
The game continues, often daily. We play in the barn, in the car, in washrooms, in the shed, in the fields, and in our bedrooms. Anywhere and everywhere. Mama never catches us. One Donald despises Papa with a passion, while the other Donald participates in the game. My brother Ronnie and I are going to go to Elmer, to the last house that we lived with a molesting father, Daniel. It's the first time we're going to Elmer since '78, at the same time. It's important that Ronnie and I go on this journey together because Ronnie's the one that I feel most uncomfortable with. He had some of the strong characteristics that Daniel had. Even though he tried to fight against it, he had them. And I hated Ronnie. Well, there were periods of years where we never talked to each other. We were just so caught up in our own, you know, recovery and surviving, figuring out a way how to survive, that we just couldn't be there for each other. And it was better that we didn't see each other because we reminded each other of the abuse. The closer and closer I get, the more and more I'm detached. Mosley, yeah. The more and more I'm detached from the experience.
And I can tell my anxiety's building because I haven't looked at the speedometer once since we got off the 73.
So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have an overload of flashbacks. I haven't set eyes on my childhood residences for more than 2 decades. Yet this absence doesn't diminish the importance of my return or the discomfort it causes me. I've raised 1,000 excuses why I shouldn't visit the past. Many of them originated with well-meaning friends and acquaintances. Forget the past. Look ahead, not behind. With time, you'll forget. But is it possible to forget the past?
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Didn't he plant some of those trees?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
We haven't stood here since '76, together, since the day we left. So many people visited our little world here, discovered what happened, and never did anything. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
My memory here, one of them is, I call it the Bunny Massacre because we had went to a congregation meeting and we came back, and when we got back, Daniel said that my father said that there had been a burglary and the burglar had killed my rabbits. And when I ran out, it was a red and white landscape of dead bunnies. But it was him that had killed the rabbits. There was no burglary.
No.
The punishment for not playing the game was killing my bunnies.
Come on, Donald, let's feed the rabbits. I've already picked the lettuce, Papa continues. You love those fluffy bunnies, don't you? Do you want a new one? Is a new rabbit worth it? I wonder.
Yeah,
We were all like suicidal and self-hatred and getting in trouble with the law, and it was all signs of the secret of what we were keeping within.
I couldn't get away from him anyway, then. No. Well, one time I jumped on the phone. I said, I'm going to call. I walked outside, and he was working in the garden a little bit. And I said, I got enough. I'm going to call the police. I was picking up the phone, and he was grabbing me and throwing me against the wall.
He owned you. You were like a possession, the fifth child.
He had the power, see, the power to shut me up.
I already had been working on my mother for a long time, trying to convince her to divorce him.
Which was really good.
Yeah.
Really good you were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Donald was with me on the plan, and we had it coordinated and timed, and at a certain day that he was headed to work, we moved everything.
She was so controlled by him that there's no, it was obvious that she would not leave on her own. Like, there's no way. So we had to be old enough to take her out.
When I look at my 5 children and when I look at my 5 grandkids and I see normalcy, it just warms my heart, and lets me know that he did not defeat us.
There's no happy memory. It's like we're sitting in the car with our abuser on our way to church, not exactly a picnic.
No, it's right there.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Now it's a Mennonite church.
And it was Pentecostal last time, I think.
Yeah.
Father kept us isolated from the rest of the world. We never developed normal relationships. He would not allow us to bring friends home from school. He decided who would visit our world. I did not have contact with the outside world until I went to school. Anyone who wasn't a Jehovah's Witness was bad association. We'd watch television, and my parents would tell us, those people are worldly and non-Christian. We were normal, and they were not.
Oh, it's so tiny, Ronnie. It's so freaky walking here. Because I've only been here once since '81. My worst memory of this place is sitting beside Daniel here. That's my worst memory. What's yours?
When we knew that we had to go to the elders because we were brought up to believe that they were the ones that we could turn to for help, and we actually set up a meeting and we pour out our hearts, and we were actually told that we had to return back to the house on the hill and be obedient.
Not until I read Ann Lander's letter, in which when I was 17, a woman wrote in and said that she was being sexually abused. What should I do? And Ann Lander said, it's a crime, report it. That's the first time I knew it was a crime, even though 30 people knew by that time. And then when I finally do, and there's a trial, when I'm 20, I felt worse. My father was sentenced to 2 years less a day in reformatory. But considering years and years of abuse, when you put that in perspective, 2 years is nothing.
I wish that I never met him sometimes, you know, or I wish that I should have married somebody else.
Do you remember that even when you made up your mind, we convinced you to leave, yet even after we left and you knew everything that happened, you still cried for him?
Yeah, but the crying was more like, I'm leaving, and we don't know where we were going.
As we traveled down the country road, the house on the hill recedes in my memory, and with it, I pray, any trace of my father. But one quick last glance in the mirror couldn't hurt, could it?
You didn't even go to this high school long that we're going to now.
No.
Like months.
Months, yes,
And then you
because I
quit.
quit school in grade 9.
I quit. Yeah.
Yeah, because the world was coming to an end.
Right. Well, that was.
So you used to be still doing fine.
Yeah, but that was a good excuse for you too to quit. I don't think you like school anyway. It wasn't
Actually, grade 7, 8, and 9. No, I didn't mind school.
This wasn't you, Ronnie. Oh God, the world's ending. I have to quit school. No, it was like, yo, I get to quit school. Right? Really, that's the real thing, right? That's the real deal, isn't it? You were glad. 4 years of torture is what I went through here. Yeah. I was like the freak of the school. What happened was, I think that our mother was given clothes by senior citizens that probably in the 20s and 30s looked really good. Gold, purple, those kind of pants probably were normal. But when you are like a teenager going to East Elgin and Albert, like you kind of stand out. When your clothes shine from the street, like they glisten and they're so outdated.
That's what kills me. Looking back, nobody asked. The students never asked questions. The teachers never asked questions.
Yeah. But by the
Nobody asked questions. Why are you so weird? Why are you so different? What's going on? What's the matter?
Yeah.
Nobody.
I was like a walking Sybil. I had different personalities. I had a church personality. I had a school personality. I had a home personality. None of them ever met. It was totally like deep compartmentalizing my whole life. So when I was at school, I never was aware of the abuse. It was like it never happened to me. So it was like a separate kind of hell.
I never dreamed that a person could be happy. I just never dreamed that it was possible. I thought that we were destined, for whatever reason, by the cosmos, to be different, weird freaks, and never to know what love was and never to know what happiness was. Of course, all of that was a lie.
My past is a blur to me. I've blocked out most of it. When I meet someone I went to school with, they always remember me. I rarely remember them. Although I have distanced myself from my childhood experiences, in this new millennium, my quest for inner peace continues. Me, myself, and I have found relative success. I'm well-liked, I'm outgoing, I get people to open up.
You want me to let him in?
Yeah, you guys go.
Hello?
Is it Chrissy in the game? Yeah? Yeah, keep pushing the 9.
You're thinking...
You look good, Mom.
Okay, so I'm gonna let them in.
Come on in. Hello.
Chrissy, Ronnie's daughter's coming over, talk about her upcoming wedding because my mother, being so sick, can't go to the wedding. So we're bringing the wedding shower to Mom.
Oh, look at that. Pretty
You know, I wore something like this in a show once. The religious and the psychological and the physical abuse and just total mind control. And no matter what life I have now, I'm free.
Wants to see what those... You're funny.
Butterfly is beautiful. Papa took that picture. Pretty good, huh? You've never been to my dad's property.
No.
If I could get out there more, I would be out there every weekend at least. That's where we wanted to go camping for our honeymoon, actually. It's that peaceful out there, and it's that beautiful out there.
Years ago, my brother invested in a property of land, and he has taken beautiful pictures of his property. So I visualized the wonder, and he's asked me for years to go. Let's go fishing, let's go, spend a day on the property, and I just don't want to. I don't want to, and it's not because I don't want to. I have specific reasons why I don't want to do it, and it's because it reminds me of the past. I mean, we would go on fishing trips together and be abused. We would go into the brush and be abused.
I'm hoping that you're actually going to force yourself to see the peninsula and the Bass Pond and the project that I've spent 10 years of my life as a dream developing.
That would be like hell for me. That would not be a fun trip for me.
And I think the only reason it doesn't have that effect with me is that for every one time I was attacked in the bush, I hid from him 50 times in the bush so that I wouldn't get attacked. So I had a love-hate relationship with the bush, whereas for you, it was just hate, hate, hate.
It's so tempting. I mean, it's gorgeous. And Ronnie and I are closer now. So I want to go. You know, I want to, well, let's put it this way. I want to go for him. I don't think I want to go for me.
Hi, how are you? Hi, bro. Hi. How's it going? Good. How you doing? But
Well, you know what? Going to Elmer was more fun than going to the woods, but here we go.
well, I don't know about that. You haven't done it yet.
I think that I'd rather be in a desert than in this woods, but I mean, it's Ronnie's dream project and I want to see it for him, eh? I want to see the project for him. So, I mean, a little discomfort is worth it.
And that's the irony, right? Because I want you to see it for you.
You know, you're driving a truck and taking me to this property, which reminds me of his truck.
To me, this truck built the project. So I don't give a damn what Daniel Dehaney owned. I don't care that there was abuse within a truck. This truck created life. This truck created a wildlife project.
Oh, I think it's progress that I would be willing to do this.
There's hundreds and hundreds of rabbits now.
Oh, I betcha. I can't imagine what this looks like in the summer.
Oh, it's a totally different experience. I mean, totally.
Yeah,
Like
must
you
be
can't
beautiful.
see 25 feet in the bush. This is the peninsula. The water surrounds us all the way around.
So it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I was imagining complete woods.
You can see depth. You can
Yes.
see into the
That's true. I can see a way out. How long have you had this property?
10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
Hey, didn't you take a picture of that too?
Yes, I have pictures of that too. There's a little baby rabbit right there.
Where?
The footprints, I
Oh,
mean.
the footprints. I thought it was.
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Ronnie seems so much more at peace. He's a kinder, gentler man now, and we're in the process of getting to know each other. But I do find it difficult. He reminds me of the abuse. My siblings remind me of the abuse. But I love my brother, and he's worth taking that journey. And I know that I could count on him for anything. I feel fortunate I have people in my life who care about me, love me, and support me. On good days, such love envelops me. Fortunately, the good days are many, the bad few. I've always felt different, sometimes even special. I think that's because I am. Life's too short not to risk the work of this relationship.
Could've said something to ease the pain. Just a few words would have made a happy home again. We were dangling, about to fall.